Umpires Coates, Avon and Nichols for this afternoon. About to get the round 7 clash underway. Crowd of just over 27,000. You're watching AFL on Fox as Burton. And immediately there's an infringement from the centre square. Not the start that Dennis Pagan was looking for, because an easy possession straight away for the West Coast Eagles to Cox. That must be really annoying for a coach to start.
Well, possibly. I think Clayton coming off the wing was the infringer there, so that's something you really should never happen.
Cox, good lead from Gasper, goes over his head. Archer back there for the Kangaroos. Solid bump from Haynes. Simpson, the first kick out of there. Out in front of Harvey. Simpson and Harvey. Grant, all been an excellent touch for the Kangaroos so far this season. Ball bounces for Jakovic. Turns Morel inside out. Tim, you're saying that it was different for Jakovic this week. He normally prepares for a Wayne Carey, but it's a different mindset for him.
Yeah, speaking to him yesterday, he was very disappointed that the King's not out there, and he wants him to be back playing sooner than later, but maybe not today, because the Kangaroos would be a fair side with the King back in it. But at the moment, the Eagles have the ball at half back. Williams kicks smothered down brilliantly. But Williams did well, went back and got his own footy. Kicks to open space. The ball pitches. Cousins taken high, should get a free kick and does.
The good call, Tim, was just the initial contact by Harvey as he plays on.
He does. He kicks to an open goal square. Will the ball skid through? It does, but it's through for a minor score. Ben Cousions, forward thinking from the skipper, through for a minor score. And Brent Harvey, just over the shoulder of Ben Cousions. Just got him coming back to the left.
He tried to correct it, not good enough.
And then he was up and away.
Daniel Kerr looks if he has the run with roll with Anthony Stevens. And I think Robbins will probably be the player, number 30, the redhead, picking up Ben Cousions.
Here. Sorry, Tim. Archer takes the mark in. Goes long. Suits the Eagles, though. Straight to Matera. That's Peter Matera, marks safely. Laterally goes to Judd. Plenty of room to play on. And has good running, good strong running for the Eagles. As Fletcher ran into space. Wilson on a lead, but getting back. And the kick was shorter. And getting in there was Haynes.
It's interesting, Matthew, the North, or the Kangaroos defenders in King and Archer particularly, weren't prepared to go to a man. They wanted to sit off and zone and try and protect the ball, the area, so much for Wilson behind them. And in fact, so what was done there was the right thing, just chip it short and go straight to young David Haynes. Won't be a problem with the distance here.
He's kicked 3 goals, 1 for the season so far, David Haynes. From 45 metres, hooks it badly. Just the behind. 2 behinds the West Coast. Kangaroos yet to score.
Yes, it's an important miss. If we do get rain later on, you've got to take your chances early while the ball's a bit dry.
He kicked 4 goals, 6 for Subiaco in WAFL game a couple of weeks ago, so maybe accuracy is not one of his attributes. King to bring the ball in for the Kangaroos. Goes to the scoreboard side. Wapunda has to stand underneath. He took the mark, long sleeves. Kicks into the lead, into the pocket of Wilson. Pitched in front of the Eagles for forward over the line and out of play. 28,500 in. Blustery old day. West Coast Eagles haven't lost at Subiaco Oval this year. The Kangaroos do enjoy playing here. Burton slaps it down. Gasper over the footy. Just squeezes the ball out. On the boundary line, Williams hooks it back towards the front of the goal square. Well done by Baird. In front of his opposite number, Haynes, who took a very good mark on the relieving goal square.
Deceiving player, Tim, John Baird, elevated this year, and tall, aggressive, holds his ground. So an important player to sit there, which releases someone like Archer or McCartney up the ground.
And he's got some confidence too, as he gets around the man of the mark. Short makepiece, just the required distance. Braun attending. Makepiece breaks. Again, it suits the Eagles. 3-on-1 over the top. Cox, the easiest of marks. Playing on quickly, Judd running, spots a player to his left, but the kick goes back towards Archer. Wilson came, Braun in the crumbing spot. He gives it off, McCartney gets it towards Pickett, intercepted by Kerr, got it to Braun, on the left, not enough. On the last line, Makepeace. Now the Kangaroos with a little bit more purpose, but again, not a lot to kick to. And again, it suits the Eagles. Cox and Wirrapunda. Good talk from Wirrapunda. Cox takes another mark. Playing on quickly to Jones. Jones long towards Wilson. Too long, in fact. And McCartney takes the mark on his chest. Interesting, Ross, that they're having trouble getting out of their back 50.
Yes, two kicks, that's right. Makepeace and then Colbert kicking right to Cox. But that was poor reading the ball in the flight by Troy Wilson. Took himself right under the footy.
Simpson has it, so they've worked it out of their defensive 50, only just. Simpson's hook kick to centre wing. Clayton is there. Judd kept him out of the contest, and Jones chipped in and took the mark. They're playing on an all cost here, West Coast. Matera. He's traversed the ground. Now Archer's in best position here. He's hard to beat on a 50-50 contest. Took the mark and played on. Now they're running for him. Here's King. Juggling effort. Took the mark. Steps around Matera. Did he go? No, according to umpire Coates.
He was clever then. He knew that he had taken momentum forward, but he also had the option to say, hang on, I had to try and pull up there, and I couldn't pull up any quicker than what I did.
David King. From the goal square. He's going to kick long. The Porter-Carroll contest. Carroll back, Porter forced to spoil from behind, over the line and out of play in the forward left pocket.
Not sure, Tim, whether that was the right option. He had Savrock on the lead, and he was probably 15 metres clear of McIntosh when he got to about the 40-metre area, so the kick probably should have gone to there from my point of view. Still, we're in the box.
The Eagles doing all the attacking, but now the Kangaroos have found themselves in front of goal. Robbins ekes a hand pass out to Simpson. Up and under kick. Umpire says there's no mark here. Play on. Burton up over the top. Not paid. Jakovic threw it on the boot. McIntosh tunnels it out. Cousins, that little shimmy. Then the left foot kick towards centre wing. Good kick in the end. Had nothing on. Found space. Right on centre wing. Right on the interchange area. Ben Cousins been busy early. That's his third kick.
Shannon Grant already to the bench for the Kangaroos. Cousins, as usual, involved early. Here's Robbins. Round the body, hooks it back to the contest. Simpson caught by Jones and Kerr. No opportunity. Good umpiring. Let the play go on. Kerr, poor kick. Stevens can't get a handle on it. Here's Baird, also Haynes. He wanted Fletcher. Stevens with courage, as per the norm. Ball up.
See match-up two, David King and David Wirrapunda. Two players who like to follow the footy, attack the ball, not necessarily close checking types. So one-on-one there. It'll be interesting to see it pans out if it stays like that for the rest of the game.
Men in charge for the afternoon. Gasper can't beat Burton and Colbert. Colbert trying to burrow his way through. Gets it high. It was always down there, Ross.
Well, the umpire's closer than us, Matthew, but speculative free kick.
50-metre penalty. So a wonderful opportunity here for the Kangaroos.
Yeah, Cox saying why, and the umpire's saying you didn't get back on the mark as I blew the whistle. That's why.
No one on the mark.
See that? Now he should know that, Lee Colbert. You can't kick and play on until the umpire set the mark. Now what happens is it allows, for the time of the ball to come back, it allows West Coast to get back and block up that 50 area.
One extra in defence, so Rocker the target. McIntosh right with him. Over the top came Porter. Here's McIntosh back in the side with that hamstring injury. Jakovic will want the boundary. Successfully does so. So no goals as yet here from Subiaco. Under 14 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Cool day. A little bit windy. The wind favouring the West Coast Eagles. But conditions good for players away from the normal Subiaco heat. Porter, Pickett, a chance for the first goal. Round the body, Byron Pickett. Oh, that's a ripper. Pickett gets his first, and, well, he's been a goal kicker this season already, Byron Pickett, with 13 goals, 5 coming in this game. Great start.
Yes, and while that was happening, just watch this again. Porter just pushing out the back. No one covering that area for West Coast. It's important, particularly with someone like Pickett or even a Harvey. They are so clever. And that's a terrific kick from that area. Shannon Grant back on the ground now. Motlop coming off for him. That's Shannon Motlop.
Byron Pickett gets the first goal of the game. Kicked 6 in round 15 last year against the West Coast Eagles and got himself a Brownlow medal vote for the effort. So the Kangas get the first goal on the board. Cox has been busy early, throws it on the boot to half forward. Gasper front spot. Over the top of him was Colbert, no free kick. Now Kerr was taken high. Does he get one? He does. Daniel Kerr, 55 out from goal. He has the breeze at his back, but it still might test him. Kicks long. Williams, well done Gasper, held his man out. Williams floated across the front of the pack. And Andrew Williams has been a goal kicker this year.
Look, he's a player who slips under the opposition guard at time because he's strong overhead like that, fleet of foot, and usually a good finisher, right, Tim? This way, he just Archer getting caught behind, and either one of the two West Coast players could have taken that mark.
So Williams aiming for his 10th goal for the season. Slots it through, and the Eagles get the quick response.
It's important that they did that. They've been inside 50 often enough. 6-2 at the moment in favour of West Coast. So they hadn't had a chance, or not a chance, but unable to get close enough to goal to score. And Williams there just read it very well. And the kick by Kerr important. Set it up in the danger spot. Wilson had led out to our right on screen there, but ignored by Kerr. Went long, and that's the result.
Williams with his 10th goal of the season and 4 disposals already, so very lively in this first quarter. Andrew Williams. Good answering goal by the Eagles. Burton against Cox. Matera out the back door. Got it to Jones. Did well in the end. Didn't panic. Fletcher has where it punted wide. Second option was further afield. That was Williams. Now a chance for King for the Kangaroos. Archer. Too much on the kick. Colica there for the Eagles. Indecision. Now decides to go. Goes back to Matera. A little bit scrappy. And the turnover. King. Simpson from 50. Just tugs it left. And a little bit of indecision costing the West Coast Eagles there, but Simpson's kick just the behind.
Yes, and also Adam Simpson looked directly at his captain in Anthony Stevens. Then as he kicked on his right boot, his non-preferred Stevens was clear. Should have received a handball, would have been a free shot at goal on his left boot.
The Eagles lead by a point. Crowd building all the time, almost 31,000. Saturday afternoon footy.
It's not a bad crowd, Tim.
33 a couple of weeks ago against Brisbane. So yes, considering it's not the best day weather-wise. Long kick, McIntosh. Kangaroos were in best position. They seemed to spoil each other. Underneath the pack was Porter. Well done, Simpson knocks it out to King. He's been penalised for a throw. And well, I thought Adam Simpson just swatted that out of mid-air. Very hard to grab it with one hand and throw it at the same time, but he's been penalised.
It's interesting, Tim. Some umpires construe that if you hit it with an open hand like that, it's a scoop, but it's not at all.
Glenn Jakovic forced off the ground at Football Park with that shoulder injury. They've restrapped it slightly different now, and he's feeling a little more comfortable. Fletcher's kick is good to the middle of the ground at Colica. Now he's got Peter Matera running for him. That's the direction the hand pass takes. He loops it over the top. Here's Kerr, runs on 50. From 50 metres, Daniel Kerr sprays it and misses the lot. Bad miss.
Deserved the goal. They worked it very well. They took some risks, and they're running in numbers. Got it 40. He's normally a very good finisher. Looked balanced, did everything right, settled.
Makepeace to bring it in for the Kangaroos. Burton is target. Easily got it in front of Matera there. So big spider Burton now. Almost smothered by Kerr. Gets up and under it. That should suit McIntosh. Terrific mark, not paid. Gives it up. Simpson to Rocker. Kangaroos running now. King. He's got Stevens. Spots him. Stevens goes back into the hole. And a falling mark by the skipper. A clever kick by King.
He's just questioning whether the mark at the other end, or it's the mark to McIntosh.
McIntosh, I reckon McIntosh claimed that mark, and from my 4 eyes from this distance, it didn't look like he hit the ground.
It's interesting. I would have said probably the same. Not sure whether we'll get it on replay, but that's the mark to Stevens. It was a well-weighted kick. He had room behind him, so no pressure from behind.
Stevens lines up for the Kangaroos' second goal. He's just got the one so far this season, 1 goal, 2. No problems whatsoever for Anthony Stevens. His first goal of the afternoon. And for a comprehensive wrap of the round, you can find it on the winners on Sunday night at 7:30. All the good goals, all the good marks, and all the action.
Well, just watch this McIntosh mark again, or attempted mark. Did very well to get Rocker out of the way. Being held a little, holds with one hand. Sits on the ball, Tim, that's why. Hits the ground. You agreed. I can see your head nodding. Yeah, that's right.
I better get those glasses checked.
Just clean them.
So it wasn't a mark to McIntosh, but it was a goal to Stevens. And the Kangaroos, third lead change in the game, now by 5 points. Been good contest in the middle between Cox and Burton. Hacked forward by Judd. Overran the footy on this occasion. Now Haynes slipped under the tackle, was taken high, plays on. Then kick smothered down by Simpson. Matera's there, Peter around the corner, good vision, spots up Cousins, 55 out. Now Cousins wants to play on at all costs. He hand passed to Fletcher. He's a left footer. He'll try and straighten it up to the front of the goal square. Wilson slipped, then got up and over the back, taking a very good mark, running in. Is that Gasper? I think it is. Very good mark. He was about third or fourth in line. Took a diving chest mark.
He's a good player, Tim. I mean, the first game he played this year at centre half 40 really did dominate, and cleverly takes advantage.
So the Eagles get the lead back by 1 point. Travis Gasper, trouble during the week with a hip injury, didn't play a lot of the game at Footy Park.
And two, Fletcher there looked toward the goal, didn't look for the actual goal itself, looked to the top of the square, and Gasper running at a pace. Cleverly done. He's a smart player. And again, no one on the mark. Why wait? The umpire said it's all clear. Away you go. And he's been picked up by Lee Colbert, so inexperienced in Gasper, playing against a very experienced player in Lee Colbert, so that'll do his confidence the world of good. Callum Chambers on screen there.
Well, both times the Kangaroos have goal. West Coast have answered immediately. They lead by a point. Burton, Robbins, quick hands, wanted Stevens. Fletcher gets in his way towards Haynes. Good punch from Baird, running as far as Williams. Has Cousins, decides to go alone, steps inside 50 and bangs it long for another goal. Wonderful confidence from Andrew Williams, his second already. And two quick ones for the West Coast, Ross.
And important again that you get the clearance out of the centre, you get the ball into your forward 50 very quickly, which West Coast did there. See the bounce there. Actually favoured Robbins, but in fact his handball was errant in numbers. Fletcher again getting involved. It was a good punch by Baird, as you called, but favoured then Williams and also Cousins running on his left. But he said, no, I'll go by myself. Why not?
Andrew Williams, second goal for the day, and he's playing his 41st consecutive game for West Coast. Only second only to Glenn Jakovic in consecutive games played for this club at the moment. He's an important player, and he's jumped up as a goal kicker. Middle of the ground, Cousins been busy early, throws it on the boot to the forward 50. Beats the Pakwa Punda, quick hands. Here's Gasper from inside 50. Let's fly, a goal in 20 seconds for West Coast. Gasper's got two, Williams has got two, and already a mini break for West Coast Eagles.
That's a good sign too for West Coast. Their younger players are leading the way as Matthew Burton is taken from the ground, and replacing him is Lee Harding. He's going to go forward. So Porter's in the ruck. But watch this again. Clearance out of the middle is so important, and quickly numbers and great hands by Wirpunda. Just clean front position. Knew what was about him. Gasper was the player he elected to handball to, and a confident finish. See the height variance there. Lee Colbert about 6'3", Gasper 6'5", and mobile.
Wonderful burst here by the Eagles. Off the ground went Braun towards the wing. Cousins with pace. Oh, wonderful below the knees. Wonderful pickup. Got it to Jakovic. In turn, Fletcher. But he just kicks it to his opposite number 7 in Adam Simpson. Quickly goes towards Rocker. Got a better couple. Jakovic and McIntosh. Got a better couple of excellent players. And McIntosh favoured there.
That was a mark?
That was a mark, Tim.
I don't need a replay.
You've obviously cleaned those glasses in the last couple of minutes. Braun. Wirpunda provided the target. Couldn't quite mark it. Simpson at ground level does well to Robbins. Has very quick hands, does Robbins. Motlop got it to Clayton. Back to the aforementioned. Poor kick. Maybe he should handball all the time. McIntosh. Caught. Free kick. Advantage paid. Fletcher quickly. Low. Good pass to Haynes, who has been prominent. He's providing a target. to confident West Coast Eagles at the moment until a poor kick comes. And that was it. Clayton to Porter. Squeezes it out. Braun, good mark. Tough mark. Running away. Just under 8 minutes remaining. A 13-point margin to the West Coast Eagles. Goes towards the umpire. Standing behind him.
Wooden's just come on now, Matthew, and he's clear. He's replaced Trent Carroll.
Wooden. Straight on. Almost an effective kick to Jones. Getting over the top of him was Stuart Cochrane. Will be a ball up right on the forward 50 for the West Coast Eagles, who are in control of the match at the minute.
Yes, and importantly, a part of that is Chad Fletcher in the middle of the ground, who's been up and down with his form this year so far. Started off very well, but started this game very well, more importantly.
Porter taps it down. Here's Kerr. Beautiful spin move. Has time and space. Chips over the top. Phil Matera tried to feign King away from the footy. 3 bites not paid. Crowd not happy. King did well in defence, running with the flight of the ball. Here's Phil Matera tried to spook. There it is there. King did not take a backward step. Almost had it, but King did very well to spoil for the Kangaroos. Tap down. Archer wants the boundary line, finds it. So they're under enormous pressure. Chad Fletcher's been very good. 7 kicks, and 6 of those in the last 10 minutes. Red alert, red alert. Chad Fletcher is the man. 3 goals in 3 minutes to the West Coast, and they lead by 13 points. Over the top, here's Archer, working hard to make peace. Around the corner, Robbins, one time on the West Coast Eagles list. Drafted in 1993 by the Eagles, ended up at Brisbane, now with the Kangaroos. Well done by McIntosh, over the top of Rocker. How to play.
Yeah, you're right, Tim. It was just cleverly done. Used his chest, not in a forced way, just to get Rocker under the footy, and Rocker conceded a little too easily. The ball just easily enforced over the line, as we see Spider Burton having a breather.
Boundary throw in, Rocker and Cox. Robbins wanted to get his hands clear, but he was wrapped up by McIntosh. Robbins very good in close, the leading tackler for the Kangaroos so far this season. Shannon Grant going through the process of keeping ready. Stevens, intelligent footy. Pickett, caught. Just over 6 minutes remaining as we see the tackle from Fletcher on Pickett. Pickett realising he had nowhere to go, took the safety of the line. Back with the action. Fletcher quickly to Philip Matera. Gets it back to Fletcher. Possession number 9. Braun running now. Inside the 450, Wilson comes. Goes over the top of Porter. And again, Wilson misjudges it, Ross.
Free kick, yeah. He's giving it to Porter because he pushed his foot out in the first instance. That's a little dangerous. Just watch this. There goes the foot.
Back with the ball now. Haynes off to Braun. West Coast inside 50 once again. But disposal poor. Makepeace getting in front of Wilson. Inside 50s now. 4 for the Kangaroos. 12 for the West Coast Eagles. Makepeace to Cochrane, who's got plenty of space in front of him. Decides to avail himself of it. Long towards Clayton, who was good last week with 3 goals. Pickett, lightning fast, gets back to his feet, taps it out, but it only as far as Cox, who goes back to Josh Wooden. Wooden spotted Braun in the middle, also had Haynes, again a long lead. Braun ran on, and he has it now 70 metres from goal. Wilson wants it long. The kick to the lead of Gasper. Getting in the hole, though, is Stevens. He takes the mark and clears for the Kangaroos.
He does. He kicks to the scoreboard. Wing Rocker a long way down. McIntosh, like a glove, punches the ball away. Jones. Cousins. Fletcher. Double-figure kicks. Inside 50. Out hard Wilson. Pickett didn't take a backward step. One man who Troy Wilson doesn't scare is Byron Pickett. Colliker now has it on his forward 50. Faines gets around Motlop. Hand pass to Braun. Braun looks straighten up. Right left foot kick on goal, splits the middle, goal West Coast.
Now, it's interesting there, Byron Pickett was actually running with Braun, and he came off Braun to try and make some body contact on Colica, and Colica finishes up with the footy. Watch this, we might see it now. Pickett was actually playing on Braun there. Colica receives it, now he's free. As we see Gasper coming off for a breather and Embley on. And it wasn't quite so clever then by Byron Pickett, it left Michael Braun free.
The Eagles have kicked the last 4 goals, and they now lead by 19 points. Just over 4 minutes remaining. Umpire Coates, as Chris Judd has a spell. Porter, only as far as Cousins though. All rebounds back towards Clayton, who gets rid of Braun. Then to Grant, who gets the Kangaroos forward. Harding.
It's a good mark. Protected the ball with his body.
Morrell provides the lead and Rocker goes deeper. Harding wants Rocker. McIntosh right with him once again, but he's got a crummer in David King. King around the body.
Michael Braun's in a spot of bother, fellas. He's called for John O'Neill, the physio, a couple of times, and O'Neill's just out to him now. He's on his haunches. He's got Michael Stevens. He's struggling a little at the moment with his cop to whack. Still getting the footy though.
Very good last week in the second quarter. Had 12 possessions for West Coast against Port Adelaide and got them back in the contest. And you believe he and Cousins were the best 2 for the Eagles. Struggled to get on the field, Michael Braun, so let's hope he can stay out there. He's playing some good footy. Long kick by Jakovic. Porter knocks it down inside 50. Bad bounce for Fletcher. Clayton first back for the Kangaroos. Left foot kick. It's starting to bend back as far as it can come, but not enough. Savrocker's having a tough old time against Ashley McIntosh as well. Here's Shane Clayton willing it back. Chad Fletcher saying, oh, I got the horrible bounce. Now Braun has come off the ground. Well-earned break. Casey Green comes on. Michael Braun, 8 kicks, 3 marks.
Kick now goes to the wing. Porter, good strong mark. Just coming a little bit here, the Kangaroos, last couple of minutes. He's got Clayton long. Beautiful kick from Porter. And Shane Clayton marks 30 metres out.
There's a player who sneaks up from the wing and does that quite often, and I wasn't sure whether Porter could see him or Savrocker, who were both out in virtually the same position on this outer side, and he did in the end, so the ball had enough carry before Ben Cousins could get there. Important kick for the Roos, this one.
Kicked 3 last week against the Hawthorn, one of their better players on the day. To bring the margin back to 12 points, he is a very good kicker of the football, and he hasn't let his team down. That's straight through for his first of the afternoon. Mark Porter provided the good kick towards Shane Clayton, and that move seems to have paid off a little bit. Ross, I mean, Porter's gone in the middle, and they've stopped the tide a little bit. Yes,
they have, and they're bringing Byron Pickett off now for Brent Harvey. So just rotating some of those players as West Coast are doing. That's the mark to Porter, which was a good one, as Matthew said, and then he, more importantly, used the ball well to get it to advantage. And Clayton is very much a very solid kick. West Coast still dominating statistically. 75 touches of the footy to 53, the Kangaroos. And a lot of that's through the middle of the ground.
He's been a very hardy player, Shane Clayton. He's played 76 of 79 games since joining the Kangaroos. Not out of the side much. But the Eagles are going to go forward again to half forward. Bad bounce. King back. Has Colbert. Now Colbert's ducked underneath the tackle, but the umpire said he was taken high. That's twice that's happened in this quarter. Baird did well, ran off his man and set it up for Stevens. The skipper bounces, being chased by Philip Matera. Good lead, good mark. Rocker out in front of McIntosh. No trouble with the distance. He'll kick from 55. The breeze may be slightly against him.
Yeah, it is that part of the ground at that end, Tim, you're right, where it can just sneak through on the other side of the 3-tier stand. That gives protection to the area of the ground to the left of screen as we look there. But he's a thumping kick, and this is the way that he has to get the footy against Ashley McIntosh. Lead, get in front and receive the footy like that. So now, having done that, got to kick the goal.
He's gone back a long way. The Michael Holding approach. Rocker, first kick for the day from 55.
On the foot.
He's missed the lot.
but he's kicked it 15 metres into the crowd, so the distance was never a worry. He's kicked it almost 70 metres. Jakovic quickly playing on to Rocker's opponent in McIntosh, who broke quickly. Good start from him in his return. Clayton has the sit for the Kangaroos, and spoiling over the top. Emily tries to keep it in. It'll be a boundary throw in right on the interchange area.
Interchange of Motlops. Daniel for Shannon. Shannon is on, Daniel off.
Shannon, the more experienced of the two, as Daniel takes a seat. Cox cleverly to Embley, who spins it back to Porter. Peter Matera. Well done by Baird. Been impressive early. Bangs it forward towards Rocker. Needed a crummer. The only one there is Peter Matera. Excellent form. Wirapunda. Back to Wooden. Embley and Stevens. Stevens over the back. Falls down towards Haynes now. Chance for West Coast to go inside 50 once again. Clever kick. Wonderful kick from David Haynes. Spotted Phil Matera and hooked it round to find him standing.
I know Haynes still got the footy, but the umpire actually paid a free kick against Anthony Stevens, who was really using his body and got a hand on the footy. Didn't really interfere. Anyway, Haynes still had the football, and this is the danger fellow as he slowly gets his way back into this game, having missed a couple of weeks. It could be a real danger. Trying to get a right matchup. Cochrane's got him at the moment.
So from the reverse angle, Philip Matera's first kick for the afternoon. He loves to kick goals. He'll be disappointed with that kick.
Tried to interview Phil Matera during the week, the comeback game, and was told he'd lost his voice on Wednesday. Hasn't been feeling the best.
You would know what that's like, would you, Tim?
No mirrors in your house, obviously. The Eagles by 13 points. And King kicks it to himself. And just gets away from Wilson, then kicks. The ball seems to hold up in the breeze. Peter Matera wants to punch it. The discipline stuff. Kerr, bad bounce, a wrong'un. King comes back. Siren sounds. The Eagles will be happy.
They certainly will. 5 goals, 3, 33. Kangaroos 3-2-20. It's the Eagles, 13 points here at Subiaco. So, second quarter action about to begin. Wilson and McCartney almost just touching shoulders there. Unusual.
It's around the neck.
Position. Simpson gets it off the ground. Cousins running back. Wonderful pace again. Has Josh Wooden, who backs himself. Goes long. Punda's got to go back into the space. He could run onto it here. He does. Cleverly keeps it in. What could he manufacture from there? Would have been a super goal, but unfortunately for him, it's out of bounds on the full.
And a quick change there. Josh Wooden just taken off the ground now. Trent Carroll is on there, swapping Carroll and Colliker. Carroll's going back in defence. Colliker's going to come forward.
So the kick to be taken by Baird. That is going to go very close to the boundary line. Colbert, Simpson, slung to the ground, but still got his kick away. Braun. Playing well. Wirapunda has to stand and wait. Crumbing Embley. Into the path of David Wirapunda. Decision perhaps not right. He went for Philip Matera. He could have gone to goal. What can Philip Matera do? He gets around. The quick give. A second chance for Wirapunda, and he's missed it. And he will be bitterly disappointed.
A degree perhaps of laziness, like James heard last week with his one-step shot at goal that missed, and there we see the two arm in arm, brothers in arm. No point being arm in arm if you don't stay with him and the ball comes down.
So David Wirapunda, yes, will be disappointed with that.
The first kick initially, Tim, the pass to Matera that missed him along the ground, and then a slight, I know he was trying, don't get me wrong there, but it was just a lazy kick, the second one.
David King. Again, that ball didn't really travel off the boot, but Porter's there to take a very good mark. King can kick a lot further than that. It seemed to hold up in that swirling breeze. Now Porter close to the man on the mark, but they're going straight up the middle of the ground, the Kangaroos, the shortest way home. McIntosh, oh, was he taken high? Coming the other way was Watt. No free kick. Chambers slung in the tackle. Now Eagles have numbers around the ball. Jones feeds it to Chad Fletcher. Very good early. Chip pass, Embley. Back to Fletcher. Run on football. Left foot. Coming out hard is Wilson. Diving. Doesn't take the mark. McCartney. He's got a problem. Is that a throw? Back inside, Philip Matera from 50, looks up, kicks on goal. Kicks it across the face, minor score. Eagles doing all the attacking. There's Troy Wilson. Coming out hard. Diving effort, and then he does the seal across the ground.
Brent Harvey's just been taken to the ground too, Tim, replaced by Lee Harding. So I'm not sure there he's on the phone.
Colbert now with the mark for the Kangaroos. Harvey just the one disposal.
And Shannon Grant too in that first quarter, another midfielder play, just the one possession as well.
West Coast on top, but on the scoreboard just a 15-point margin as Harding looks for Rocker once again. Out in front, good kick. Rocker decides to go long, back to a one-on-one contest. Using his body well was Watt, but Djakovic seeing it over. So there's been a bit of a shuffle around. Morell and Watt, the targets there.
Yeah, they're asking Big Sav to play centre half forward at the moment to get McIntosh away from his real comfort zone.
It'll be Watt and Carroll, and it'll be Rose by Harding, and he should have made better of that.
1-1 on those shots.
So misses at both ends here at Subiaco. That one probably the easier one. Margin back to 14 points. And there is a blood rule.
It's Haynes has to come off. He's directly in front of us on the cut under the left eye. So Gasper will come back on. No, he won't. Daniel Kerr will come on.
Now, at the moment, it's bathed in sunshine. Now, of course, Daniel Kerr was off the ground last week with a cut under his left eye. Now, Michael Braun's working his way to the bench. Now, the sun is out at the moment. But we look across to the west, and it is as dark as it's been all day. So I reckon we might get some showers at this ground. 6 games at Subiaco, 3 from 3. Kangaroos and the Eagles. At the moment, the Eagles hold sway, but I can tell you now, the clouds are certainly rolling in from the west. McIntosh been told to bring the ball in. He kicks it straight up the middle of the ground. Now Morell's in best position. A very good mark. Digby Morell. Off a step. Grant did well. Knew where the ball was. Fletcher was caught trying to find him. And Shannon Grant will go back from inside 50 and have a shot on goal.
Yes, in fact, in that area there, Shannon Grant was saying to Digby Morell, go long. So Fletcher just dropped off Grant. Then Grant went short and the ball came his way. So good thinking.
Shannon Grant, just his second kick. Long time on the bench in the first quarter. Just pushed it away to the left. So a couple of misses for both teams now in this quarter. We haven't had a goal. We've had 4 behinds instead. The Eagles lead by 13 points.
Djakovic marks at centre half back. As the outer side, Porter got there first. Punch comes down to Simpson. Simpson quickly onto the boot. McIntosh was in front because Pickett was fading at the back and he was away. So a timely mark by the veteran.
Didn't really look Simpson at all.
Switch of the play from Judd to Cox. Over the top, the handball arrives for Chambers. He goes towards the target. Baird got up well. Archer, cleverly done, and beautiful kick, spotted Clayton. Grant's going to run for him. Clayton wheels around, decides to go short. Harding a chance to atone.
As Big Cox will come off now for Gasper. Good rebound football there by a player like Glenn Archer, who's got the job on Kerr at the moment. Kerr playing half forward. Eyes on the footy, dummied around and then used the kick appropriately and pushed forward. Now Harding needs to kick it. I think that rain is about a minute away.
It's not far off, yeah. Well, he is a goal kicker. He's kicked 6 goals, 3 so far in just his 8th game of AFL footy, from right on 50. It's a confident-looking kick, and he's got it. So Lee Harding atones. If you want to know more about the real issues in AFL football, catch the experts on the couch every Monday night at 8:30 on Fox Footy Channel. John Elliott will be special guest this Monday night. And he's been a good inclusion, Lee Harding here, Ross, coming on. He's been lively.
Oh, no, he's a fellow who's he's pretty smart, and as you mentioned, he does finish pretty well, but they use the ball effectively there. And I just noticed the West Coast back half just assembly to try and work out who specifically has whom.
The wet weather gear coming out at Subiaco Oval. The rain is just seconds away. The Kangaroos are grateful for that goal from Lee Harding because they're within 7 points. Here is Harding. Cousins threw it out. Stevens. King did well. In fact, he did brilliantly in a tight situation to Robbins. Simpson got it to half-forward Grant now. The playmakers are starting to come into the contest for the Kangaroos. The rain has arrived. Inside 50. Porter's drifted down and taken a mark. And all of a sudden, the shift of the game, Ross Glendinning.
Yes, with the Cox off, as I mentioned, Gaspers goes to the ruck, and now Porter going for a long bomb.
Wasted no time, did big Mark Porter. He's hooked it. So, Kangaroos are doing all the attacking the last few minutes. They've got the gap to within 6 points, 5-5-35 to 4-5-29, and the rain, as you can see, is coming and looking further west. It looked like it might be here for some time yet.
Harvey spending some time watching on. 6-point margin. Wet weather gear now prominent. Was expected. Chambers. Not much to kick to. It's pretty static at the moment. They're expecting him to kick to a contest, and that is what happened. Plenty of players around. Simpson almost got it. Simpson. Kerr now the crummer to Williams. Open forward line for West Coast. Hard running by Kerr. Decides against Wilson. Now draws the player. Gives it to Wilson. He should finish from here. He falls to ground. Kerr still in space though. Daniel Kerr lines up and misses. He did everything right. He ran all the way from the contest on the half-back flank. Got involved 2 or 3 times and just didn't finish.
Yes, did everything right. You're right. And here we see footwear will be changed at half-time, I'm sure. And Kerr did the right thing. There's that corrective couple of steps to favour his right-hand side. Should have kicked the goal.
He kicked one out in the full earlier in the first quarter as well, so he's just off target today at the moment.
Motlop, defensive 50, and he's been felled behind play by Haynes. Judd took the mark, so not clever by Haynes. Free kick down ground and go to Harding. Game starting to tighten up. Don't worry about that. Gasper back on the flight. He's on the ground for Cox, who's gone off. Gasper's been given a run in the ruck. Kicked a couple of first quarter goals. The Eagles have a loose man, far side. In fact, they've got a couple. Wooden and Embley, they raffle it. Winning ticket, 32. Embley then kicks out wide. Phil Matera up. Quiet on his return. Looks up. Wilson the lead up. To the back, Colbert. Now, kick's been smothered down. It's still in the danger zone. Pickett will like these conditions. Not much on up forward for Simpson. He has one man, and that's Archer. You'd like to back him in the contest, and takes a very good mark on centre wing opposed to Matera. The Kangaroos trying to get down there to help Morel and Djakovic. Big body, good mark, Morel. Impressive footballer. Open goal square. Big Digby lets fly. The Breeze is trying to work it back. Will it bounce? Oh, it went the wrong way. Had an Eagles bounce across, through for a minor score. Big Digby Morel.
It's an important match-up there, Matera and Archer, but then the kick by Archer, not so much to the advantage of Morel, but he made it to his advantage by using his body cleverly in front of Djakovic. It becomes an important player then, Digby Morel, as this weather does come in like this. The taller players find it a little more difficult below their knees.
McIntosh to Wooden. Wooden goes to the outer side, looking for Djakovic. Simpson to fly from behind. Gasper at ground level to Cousins, who has found himself in some space. That is dangerous for the Kangaroos when Cousins has space. The kick goes too long though. Philip Matera with great pace. Around the body, that's going to bounce through. Wonderful goal, welcome back Philip. Exciting stuff, Ross. He just ran past 2 or 3 defenders there.
Yes, Archer got back, got a hand on it. We just listen to that rain come through now. We see Archer there, got a left hand on it, couldn't quite control it. Norkley grabbed the jumper. Neither could Makepeace make an impression. That's a clever goal. And we've also at the moment seen that Shannon Watt's been taken from the ground by the Kangaroos, a tall player replaced by Brent Harvey.
Unbelievable weather as it's Subiaco. That is rain. It's about 2% away from being hail, I reckon.
Here in Melbourne, we've had sun, cloud, rain. What's next, Tim?
Snow.
I know what's next for Troy Wilson. A change of boots. He slipped over a couple of times now. Maybe they can do it now and get it out on the ground. Ball back in the middle. Gasper. Judd. 3 people tackle him. Fresh air shot. Oh, Peter Matera hit hard by Pickett. Byron Pickett throws his body in, but Peter Matera bounces up.
I think to some degree, Peter Matera is lucky that he was going to ground at that stage as Pickett came through.
Crowd wanted 50. Robbins didn't get the ball back to Peter Matera. No doing. So this 12-point lead will be very handy in these conditions. The Kangaroos like their chances in these conditions, mind you. Maybe we're playing like it's a dry day. The kick didn't follow the beautiful trap. It's went over the line and out on the full.
David Haynes with some white plaster under that left eye where he got cut early in the game.
So a goal apiece in this second term. Goals will be at a premium now with this wet weather. King takes on Haynes and then is forced to hand pass it away. Might have a problem here, King. He has to get himself out of it because he's got himself in it, and he's going to get a free kick for a push in the back.
We've got 15 metres anyway. Worked pretty hard for that. In these sort of conditions, Tim, why would you take someone on? Get back and just kick it long. You've got what breeze there is behind you and the rain.
He's experienced enough to know about wet weather conditions and now decides to play accordingly. Contest. Good work by Porter. Slapped it down to Stevens, who just throws it on the boot, forcing it forward. Colliker getting back. Safe mark, and he's away quickly. Braun misses him. Here comes Haynes. Clever work by Haynes to Braun. That's clever as well. Now Kerr. Third time lucky Daniel Kerr. Yes! I just had a funny feeling he was going to kick that one, Ross.
Well, it's such an important goal, as was Philip Matera's about 2 minutes beforehand with his rain coming down. You can see it on screen there. Beautifully balanced is Daniel Kerr. Right on 50. Never looked like missing that one. As David King has been taken off. Look at the shot of that ball in the rain. Embley is off for Chad Fletcher.
Daniel Kerr, one of 3 players on the ground, taken at number 18 in the national draft. The others, Anthony Stevens and Lee Colbert. So some class, taken at 18 over the years. Byron Pickett, brilliant, sliding on knees, bounced up, kicks to half forward. Robbins under pressure, had to get rid of it quickly from Wooden. Cousins stands up in his tackle. Speaking of class. And Colliker and Chambers, well, they sport each other. Great pick-up by Grant on the boundary. To Rocker, 55 out, hand pass over the top. Here is Stevens. Was he taken high by Wooden? No, he was under pressure. Kicked it out of bounds on the full. Well done, Josh Wooden. All of a sudden, even though it's raining, the sun's out. So the Eagles lead by 18 points. A very handy break in these conditions. Holds up in the breeze. Porter and Gasper. Porter's been okay since coming onto the ruck. Little give to Fletcher.
That's a free kick.
Should have been for Williams. Kerr tapped it between his legs. Now it's still in. Now it's out.
There's definitely a free kick against Archer there, holding the jumper of Williams. Williams continued with the footy, and then Archer got him back a second time.
Halfway through this second quarter. 3 straight goals the difference. Porter, as Tim said, has been influential. Robbins at ground level, tried to get up, holding the ball. Gasper gets the free kick. And the sun is back.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Changing conditions here at Subiaco, making for an entertaining contest. Haynes couldn't get it. Now does the second time. Caught. Ball goes out towards Judd. He spins out of trouble. Good pick up from Harvey. Motlop goes without it. Gets caught and gets the free kick. He made sure the umpire saw that he'd been tackled, Shannon Motlop. And gets some distance with that kick. McIntosh and Rocker over the back. Kerr first there for the Eagles. Cleverly done. Weaves his way but didn't get a clean possession. Fletcher. And Fletcher goes to ground, pick it over the top of him. Ross, you're not happy with something?
Well, in these conditions, you've got to help the play and help players. If you're in front, getting the football, protect them a bit. As we get a good look there at that rain that had come. And now the rainbow, as David King does come back onto the ground, having gone off for a spell after he tried to run around an opponent.
There's 4 points at the end of that rainbow. Oh, don't worry about the pot of gold. Harding kicks it to the front of the goal square. I said it while you were thinking about it, Matt. Jakovic. Good kick. Ooh, wouldn't drop the mark. Excuse him, it is a slippery ball. Gaspar, hand pass inside now. Kerr, hasn't he lifted his rating? Very good, and a good kick too. Wapunda, run in the midfield. Colica running for him. Runner-up, the club champion last year. Kicks to centre wing. Oh, Motlop did well. Got to Stevens, and well done Peter Matera as well. Dived across the boot of Anthony Stevens. Aging veteran, but still does all the 1% things.
Yeah, you're right, Tim. In these conditions, they're the sorts of things you must do to try and keep the game in your balance.
11 possessions also to Peter Matera. Very good after coming off 24 last week. Good give on the up there from Porter. Got it to King. He went with the low spiral punt kick. McIntosh again, who was right on top in that duel, to Kerr. Poor choice from Kerr. 2-on-1 contest. The free kick goes to the one.
Yeah, against Archer was there, Matthew. He just pushed Gaspar directly in the back, trying to protect his teammate.
Gaspar. As we see the replay there. Back with pictures now. On the up again from Simpson. Motlop, Rocker and McIntosh. Free kick this time goes to Rocker. Subiaco crowd not happy. He plays on quickly. He decides he can bang it from inside the centre square. He needs a lucky bounce. Jakovic claims he touches it. Is he going to convince the umpire? I don't think so. Oh, goal! Doesn't look too disconsolate. Sometimes, Ross, when you see a player claim it way out from goal, as we have a look.
No, difficult to tell an angle, but that's what you do anyway with your touch it on, is plead your case. The umpire saying, I'll have nothing of that. I can't work out what he said there, but wasn't happy. But important, well done by Rocker. Went long, open goal square.
That was a very long goal by Sav Rocker, and not quite long enough fingers for Glenn Jakovic. But he didn't fool Cosmartino, the goal umpire, anyway. Now the Kangaroos go forward. Colica punches it away, double fist up. Margin back to 12 points. Judd. Bouncing ball. Baird like his game. Kangaroos have got some problems at half-back. Haynes held by the arm. Robbins up and under kick. Peter Matera gave up front spot. Stevens was held by the jumper. Didn't get a free kick. Peter Matera and Stevens, a lot of football and a lot of experience, and eventually was the Eagle champion who eked out a free kick, and Stevens is not happy. Short to Wapunda. Now Fletcher's run on hard into the pocket. That's ignored. David Wapunda. Now he just eyed the goals then. He's about 60 out, heavy ball. Big spiral kick by Wapunda. Close to the goal line. Who will take a mark at the back? Philip Matera. Gaspar was there. Did he get a free kick? No. Eventually the ball's gone over the line, out of play. Umpires are under pressure in these conditions, Ross. It must be hard, not just for the players, but for the umpires as well.
Oh, yeah, and that's why you've got to be on the job. And as I say, if you pay free kicks there, as we see this torpedo coming in with a slightly wet ball, it's a ripper kick.
It's a big kick, back with the action. Philip Matera stole it, pickpocketed it, and kicked the goal!
Wouldn't mind just seeing this again. Adam Simpson, I'm sure, who's the fellow who had the footy, was going to kick with his left foot, but I reckon he took his foot away because he was concerned about making contact. Just watch this again. Front posse, Porter there. Simpson gets it here. Oh, no, it was knocked out of his hand. Sorry, I thought he let the ball go and then caught flat-footed. That's a clever goal.
Peter Matera's second goal for the quarter gets the Eagles back out to a 3-goal lead. Philip Matera, I should say. 8-6 place 5-6. Just under 6 minutes remaining. Gasper tried to get over Porter, couldn't. Harding, quick kick out of the centre. Rocker and McIntosh. McIntosh has support in Chambers. And the bright sunlight of Subiaco Oval out to Judd. Kerr, who's been influential in this second quarter. Spent some time on the bench. Going back. Colbert. Harding. Poor kick. Colliker in the way. He's got Fletcher. Fletcher goes to Wilson. And the crowd happy because Troy Wilson has taken his first mark. The crowd favourite here at Subiaco.
Well, if he hadn't have been so concerned about the mark, he could well have turned quickly and played on because he was in space. Look at this. There was no one near him. Took the mark. Looked to the left, but if he had have turned around quickly, he may well have been able to play on. Fletcher again's been very good, 14 possessions.
He's got the Paul Medhurst, you reckon, Ross?
Well, that might seem a bit harsh. All I'm saying is just an awareness thing, Tim. I'm just saying it makes him a better player again. Yeah. I mean, some people won't take that as a criticism. We're just trying to say that you can do things a little more simply if you wish.
21 goals, 9. Third on the AFL goal-kicking list coming into this game. He won't add to that from the goals perspective. Let's get to behind.
And Dennis Pagan trying to get something out of both Harvey and Grant. Harvey's just come off from screen there, replaced by Grant, who'd only just come off about 30 seconds before, and he's replaced by Shannon Watt. So trying to find something from those midfield players.
Times have changed for Brent Harvey. Got the 3 Brownlow votes round 15 last year.
Just the 2 possessions for Harvey, Tim, and just the 4 for Shannon Grant.
To centre wing, Porter up. Braun put his body on the line, was tackled without it. No free kick. It's on centre wing, the ball has been tied up. So the Eagles lead by 19 points.
And the other fellow who's very influential for the Kangaroos is Byron Pickett. Just the 3 touches for him. So they need to lift some of those senior players.
Porter. Stevens, he's one senior player that is having a crack today. The ball's gone over the line and out of play. Lee Harding kicked a goal earlier in this quarter. They got within 7 points. The Motlop brothers don't look impressed with proceedings. Harvey and Burton on the bench for the Kangaroos. Simpson. Kick to half forward. Clayton has front spot. Jones forced to spoil. Wapunda, look away, hand pass to McIntosh, back to Wapunda. They're going the wrong way to go forward, if you know what I mean. Wooden's got a problem. He put the ball on the ground. Pickett tried to come in and scoop it up, but his teammate was there.
Was that Simpson?
Grant?
No, Grant it was.
He just seemed to pull it back in, and Byron wanted to take it.
Here it is.
Oh.
Maybe Wooden had a hand in that as well.
Bit of everybody there. Kerr. Quickly on the boot, Cousins in front of Roberts. Simpson over the top of Cousins, free kick.
Gee, he works hard. He really does work hard. 12th possession coming up. Particularly when you're playing every game with someone on you, and quite often 2 players rotating. It's an enormously difficult situation to play under.
This is Braun.
And with a crook foot, I might add.
Yep. Going to ground was Wilson for the 3rd time, Tim Gossage. And the easy chest mark.
Has he got slippers on?
McCartney.
No.
No, but perhaps there is a change. McCartney's going to kick to a contest. He's got a couple of tools to look for. Watt and Porter. King didn't take it. Colliker did. Braun. Pretty open forward line. Wants Peter Matera. At the back was Phillip. At the back was Judd. Chambers back to Wooden. Can he get free? Doesn't need to. He has Chambers. Set sail from just outside the 50. Hooks it left. and another behind to the West Coast Eagles. They now move to 8-8. The Kangaroos 5-6, 20-point margin. Subiaco Oval here on a Saturday afternoon.
Ben Harvey there, head in his hand, looking down at his boots. He doesn't just look happy. I'm not too sure whether he's feeling the best, but just looks very disconsolate on the bench. Archer. To centre wing. Simpson, the flyer. At the front, Embley. Tunnel balls it out to Cox, to Wooden, to Judd. Dry day football, that. Wilson on the lead. Forced to spoil. Ball comes to Cousins. Looks up. Comes to Chambers. He's in form. From 40 metres out. Strikes it beautifully. Having a very good season is Callum Chambers, Ross Glendinning.
Yes, he's such a smooth mover. As you watch Lee Colbert get a bit of trouble here, the left shoulder as Wilson came out. Perhaps he should have protected the ball a little more, had his hands out in front, not try to take it as a chest mark. But Chambers always looks in control, like Daniel Kerr. They settle very quickly when they're on the run, and they look very accomplished when they kick the footy. So we see there McCartney just having a bit of a crack at Wilson, saying that he had a go at Colbert, which wasn't the case at all. They're both just going for the footy. And that's the fellow there on screen, the left, Anthony Stevens to the right, but Chambers wanted to kick the goal.
So the margin now out to 26 points. That's the largest of the game. Just over a minute remaining. Fletcher's been excellent for the Eagles. On the chest, Embley. Chambers ran for him again. He's got players streaming into the 450 now. Decides to go long. Matera, 1 or 2. Take your pick. I'll go the veteran in Peter.
That's a great mark. Great mark. Archer was coming back into it. It was a low trajectory kick in the first instance. Slightly heavier ball now with this rain. Pushing back, watch this. Archer's in front to get Archer out of the way. Right hand out to try and tap it to advantage. And Glenn Archer, he's not trying to whack him. He's just showing his frustration. So, terrific mark. 2 Norm Smith medalists playing each other. Doesn't get much better than that.
And very important, these goals, assuming he kicks this goal, if they do get 2 in a minute, right before half-time. We may have another shower in the second half. So Peter Matera for his 13th possession in his first goal. Hygiene comments from Ross Glendinning. And the goal for Peter Matera. They've got 5 for the quarter, and the Kangaroos have managed 2.
Yes, and the Matera brothers working in tandem there. Philip very clever at getting Makepeace out of the way, and then Peter coming in from the other side. No damage done there. And you're right, Matthew, the context of this game, to break the game open like that. 32-point lead with some showers coming. The ball is greasy, the ground's a bit wet. Difficult to play open, clean football. So it is a distinct advantage.
5 goals in this quarter of the West Coast Eagles, 2 5-goal terms, and have they a chance to get another one before half-time? Kerr to Cousins, Wapunda Wilson, neither takes the mark. Well done, Archer. Then should got a free kick. McCartney was a man in his back. Now McCartney's not happy with some treatment in tight.
It's going to be a free kick, I think, to Wilson against... No, it's actually Embley against Archer. Archer went in fairly strongly, having got rid of Matera fairly. And got Andrew Embley across the shoulder.
So the siren has sounded, and they lead by 32 points. Embley will line up on goal. And what a confidence booster this will be to go in at half-time, 38 points up, when the game seemed to be fairly close just 4 or 5 minutes ago. Embley has kicked 5-6 coming into this game. Can he steer it through? He can. He's happy. Subiaco fans are happy. And they're not happy with Byron Pickett. So at half-time here at Subiaco, it's the Eagles 38 points in front, 74-36. Well, Harvey is in the centre square at the moment with Simpson, who has had his usual plenty of the ball with 15 possessions. Chad Fletcher's had 15 for the Eagles. But it's the second half. Can the Kangaroos come back into this game? They go forward straight away through Simpson. Jakovic, though, leading for West Coast. Bit of a fumble there from Jakovic, but got it to Judd in the end. Through the gap Back to Jakovic. Over the top came Colbert, falls to Peter Matera. He's been dynamic. Peter Matera now on the lead. Wilson had to look into the sun and took it under some difficulty there.
There was no one knowing that Jason McCartney. They started shoulder to shoulder. As soon as Wilson took off, got onto his bike, within about 5 strides, he was that many yards or metres in front of McCartney, and the kick only had to be true, which it was. Now, for his sake, he needs to finish.
I've just finished mentioning that he hasn't kicked a goal. He's looking to become now the 9th goal kicker for the West Coast Eagles. Starting the 3rd quarter in the fashion they finished the 2nd. Beautiful kick from Wilson. His first. West Coast now out to 44 points.
And the Peter Matera of old there, evasive, fall of the ball, turn, plenty of time, and more importantly, use the ball well.
Troy Wilson gets his first goal for the day. Peter Matera has been simply brilliant. West Coast Eagles blowing this game apart. The Kangaroos have to hang tough and show some true fighting spirit. Cousins grabs it and spun. And got it out to Carroll. Rare touch for Carroll around the corner. Braun had it, lost it, got a nudge. Chambers went to ground. Well done, Kangaroos. Harvey got it up. Now, Harvey's not happy with some treatment behind play. The ball has advanced to Simpson towards the forward 50. McIntosh just reads it a lot better than Rocker in these contests today. Troubled by injury this year. Moving well. Ran off the mark. Kicks out to Jakovic. He said he slept better this week. Not having to play on Wayne Carey. Chambers up. Well done by Motlop. Daniel put a fist on the ball, but gee, slow motion stuff. Motlop ran the other way, and Chambers said, well, I've got time to look up. Porter across the pack. Drops the mark. Under pressure. Now that's on the full. That came off Peter Matera's leg for mine. It should be a Kangaroos free kick. It's definitely a Kangaroos free kick. I think the boundary umpire has been talked into it by the field umpire, but I'm sure that came off Peter Matera's leg. Anyway, the Eagles fans are not saying much. Oh, I don't know, can't tell from that angle, but inside 50. Here's Philip Matera, opposed to Makepeace. Simpson back for the Kangaroos.
Got a kick.
Peter Matera got a kick on the leg.
On the knee.
Yep.
And that's why he's coming off in that action. I think you might have been right, actually, Tim. I think the ball might have come off his shin, but in the same motion of Porter trying to kick the ball himself, kick Peter Matera in that right knee.
The boundary umpire thought it as well, but no one was helping him out of the situation. Far side of the ground. Chambers, heads up play. Brilliant stuff in tight. Chambers looks up, well done. Knocked down by Porter. Throwing the body on the line again was Chambers. Jones. Look out, trouble for Haynes. More than big trouble, that is holding the ball. It should be penalised and is.
Immediately playing on is Stevens. This time again, it's one-on-one. Rocker against McIntosh. Sav's got this one, though. He's kicked 1 goal this afternoon from inside the centre square. This time, the pass for Digby. Couldn't get it. Archer it was. Harding. McIntosh. Look away, handball to Judd. Fletcher. Williams, who'd come on from Matera, couldn't mark, and he gets a free kick for too high.
Well done by West Coast there. Just numbers allowed them to get the ball away from that half-back area. The kick probably could have been marked by Archer, but the spilt ball, too many numbers for the Kangaroos.
Too many numbers back here. Porter gets a free kick. Embley wants to go on with it. But the former Carlton player gets it over to McCartney, who himself has arrived at the Kangaroos from another club. Peter Matera just trying to walk that kick to the knee off. McCartney's kick. Cox was in front. Simpson read it the best. Possession 17. Open forward line. Clayton has got to beat Chambers. Carroll over the top. It comes to Archer. Archer with a left, around the body, kicks the goal.
Well done there by Shane Clayton too, because it was 2-on-1. Djakovic decided to, as we watch Peter Matera still. Watch this here, Porter. This is where he gets his kick. Right on the top of the shin, below the knee. And in the meantime, though, Shane Clayton, the fellow, 2-on-1, got the footy, knew that Archer was free at the back of Djakovic, who'd left Archer to go to the footy, and the goal results.
Glenn Archer being tried up forward, kicks the goal. A much needed one for the Kangaroos. Margin, 38 points. Porter been good. Harvey, not so, but he's working hard now. Through traffic, kicks towards the forward 50. Lumbering behind it was Rocker. McIntosh beat him off the mark. Left foot kicks a ripper. Haynes will mark. Outstretched. Jones running for him inboard. Philip Matera. Let's go down to Lockie Reed boundary side.
Peter Matera copped a kick to the shin. He's now just working over it with the physiotherapist, trying to walk it out. Looks like he might be able to go back on the ground in a few moments.
Younger brother Philip. No need for Peter Matera to come back on at the moment, especially if his brother can slot this one through. He practices from there, and that's why.
Good comeback by Philip Matera here, having had that 2-week break, as we've seen other interchange coming up for the Kangaroos, but in front, just so quick, decisive. Cochrane's been his marksman for most of this game, and more importantly, the 3 goals he's kicked has really given him a lift, particularly the 2 in the second half of that second quarter. They really were important goals as the rain came through. Byron Pickett now being changed from half forward down to half back. Perhaps down onto Philip Matera.
Just looking at the Peter Matera kick to the shin just there.
Yes, in fact, Pickett has gone down to pick up Philip Matera, so Makepeace will come forward.
Margin back to 44 points. 3 goals to Philip Matera. Porter has to do it in the air and on the ground. Want to be careful. 13-8 plays 6-6, just on 15 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Pickett, who's been very good up forward for the Kangaroos this season, so they've had to sacrifice that and put him back onto Matera. The goals have to come from somewhere for the Roos. Stevens knocks it forward. Give on the up from Makepeace. Wanted Robbins, but it comes out to Cousins. Always seems to have plenty of time. Steps around onto the left, out towards Braun. Wilson. Play on the call. Gets around Clayton quite easily, though. Now decides to kick long. Should suit McCartney, though. Getting in front, we're a punter. Pickett dives in. Crowd want a free kick, not coming. Harding to Cochrane. Now it's coming. The ball's coming back. Free kick to Simpson. Adam Simpson. That was Ruapunda just getting in front of. And was he held there, Ross?
Marginally.
Marginally. Kerr has got to beat 2. Holds it up for another ball up.
We would be in trouble if that was pinged for holding the man, though, wouldn't it?
That's right. And then if you do pay that one, Tim, you've got to pay for the whole game. And then no one questions that. But if you don't, then don't pay for the rest of the game. You can't have the inconsistency at all.
Peter Matera working overtime, trying to get back on the ground from that kick in the shin. A lot of players around this footy. Porter's been good. He's got back into the ruck contest after Cox's dominance early. And the Eagles are forcing it forward. Chain, Fletcher.
If Peter Matera is sore, there's no point. If at the moment the way West Coast are controlling the game, if they continue to do so, there's no point bringing him back on if there's going to be any sort of risk.
Cold day. On the shin. When you bump it on the bed, isn't it? Shin on the bed when you're diving into the double bed. It's one of the worst pains of all. That's why I sleep on the floor. Tap down, Embley. Look away, hand pass. Thanks for your help. Cousins. Boundary line, he's under pressure. Too good. Wapunda. Kick a goal out of this, David. Wapunda. Miss across the face. 45 points, the margin. I'm getting some strange looks. Peter Matera looks a lot fitter than he did 90 seconds ago. Byron Pickett will bring the ball into play. Colbert. Kerr. Eagles just have too many numbers around the ball. Chambers, back to Kerr, who bounced up. Cox is standing, 75 out from his own goal. Cousins demanding the footy. Left foot kick, that's a very good kick into space. Eagles raffle it. Fletcher marks it.
He does that well, Ben Cousins. His work ethic is enormous and never ever gives up. Continually tries to find the footy. And then the kick in the end was intended for Troy Wilson, who was really just the ball pinched from him by Chad Fletcher, who's now going to be going for his 18th disposal. Cousins has had 18 himself.
His 15th kick. Directly in front.
Fletcher's first goal for the afternoon. Hope you're enjoying this uninterrupted AFL coverage right here on the Fox Footy channel. And certainly from a West Coast perspective, Ross, well in control of this game. Dangerous time now for the Kangaroos.
Yes, and I think one thing that will be worrying Dennis Pagan is that a number of his players are just sitting off the pace a bit, not trying to make something happen, just chasing backsides. Doesn't look good.
And a lot of people in red enjoying.
It's the Red Army.
The Carlton Mid Clubbers, or something to do with Carlton Mid?
Red Army or something like that, a little supporter group.
Well, they're certainly having a good time. Not so the Kangaroos, but they can turn it around here. Stevens, good give to Harvey. Off to Harding for his second. Just hooks it. Would have been a nice way to answer Lee Harding. Josh Wooden just stretching to come back onto the ground. Margin is 50 points here at Subiaco with just under 33,000 people in attendance. A strange day weather-wise, but for the most part of it, we enjoyed good sunshine. Kerr, again to Fletcher. Plenty of possession from those two. Clever play from Wirapunda. Chambers has to be good here. Decided against the difficult pickup. Went off the ground. Haynes spills back to Stevens. Told to move on by Harding. Has a player free. All on his own at Simpson. Over the top to Clayton. He's a finisher. He's inside 50. He finishes. Second goal to Clayton, coming off his 3 from last week, and probably, if you wanted someone to finish on the run at the Kangaroos, he's probably the best one, the man you give the ball to.
Yes, and because we see Jakovic coming off now, because Kangaroos have gone smaller up forward, they'll give him a breather and Josh Wooden on. But well done by Glenn Archer on the half-back line against Haynes. He was the fellow who got the boot to the ball to push the ball forward. Stevens picked it up, they ran forward, and you're right, Matthew, he is a good finisher, and that shows you why.
The first multiple goal kicker for the Kangaroos, Shane Clayton, as Glenn Jakovic has a break. Just resting that troublesome shoulder. Heavily strapped. Much needed goal for the Kangaroos. Cox back fists it to centre wing. Harding, Sun now. Right over the top of Subiaco Oval. Harding just hacks it forward to half forward. Coming one way, Baird. Williams the other. Hand pass, scooped it up, kept it in play. Kerr tried to duck under a tackle. We've got a problem here. Eventually the ball's gone over the line and out of play. Umpire Coates was shooting his eyes from the sun. The Eagles fans thought there was a high tackle involved, but maybe Kerr could have been lucky to survive for holding the ball call.
I thought so. Tried to get around the player there, made no attempt to get rid of it.
Throw in. There's going to be a free kick. It's going to go to Rocker.
Well, the umpire pointed the other way initially. He pointed, that's why Cox hung onto the football.
Half forward right, Sav Rocker. Now Clayton just run back to the goal square. That's the direction this kick takes. He's got a problem. Numbers. McIntosh probably could have marked. Took the safety option. Double fisted it over the line and out of play.
Shannon Grant on screen, just the 5 touches so far. Same for Brent Harvey, without singling those players there all the time, but they are so important to a club.
Kerr just clears it out of the pack. Stevens, though, there. In board, missed his target. Williams breaks for the Eagles. On the turnover. Cousins, half forward. Where's Wilson? Coming now. Here he comes. Is he going to get there? Oh! Get out of my way, says Troy Wilson. He gives it back. Gets it, Cousins. Inside 50. Hooks it around the body. Hasn't got enough on it. It hasn't. And Embley was standing in front of Wilson, and he just came storming through. Let's take a good look. Get out of my way.
You should know that player is there.
In
Some
front.
form of protection, yes.
Protect his back.
Possibly Cousins a handball to Chambers, who was on the outside, and he acknowledged that after he missed the goal. If you kick the goal, it's no great trouble. But if you miss, the question mark arises.
Jakovic on the phone to coach John Worsfold. He'd be pretty happy with the scoreboard at the moment. Here he is again. Ben Cousins. Looking for Braun. A little bit too much on it. Harvey not having a great day. Couldn't take the mark. Somehow falls towards Williams. On the up. A handball missed. It came from Kerr. Kangaroos going forward now. Here's Rocker and McIntosh. Ball at ground level. Boundary. Desired result from the West Coast defence.
Is that the full, Tim?
It came off his shin, did it, Tim?
It came off someone's leg, the back of their leg. But I'm not going to get involved in that. I'm 0 for 2 today. Bit of material looking on. Rocker over the back. Simpson. That's a push on the back. Against Carroll. Clayton has lifted his rating in this quarter. To the far side of the ground. Good spoil from Cox. Ball roves. Comes to Makepeace. Braun did well. Got across. Ball just pitched in front of him. Polite applause from the West Coast Eagles fans. Rushed behind Michael Braun. Looked in trouble early, but he's running the game out okay.
Yeah, he has very much so. And that probably typifies the way the game's going. West Coast always with the answers. Whenever the Kangaroos go on attack, they just can't quite get enough of it. And again, Makepeace having a shot at goal, but typically West Coast back defending it, as McIntosh has been very good against Rocker.
The umpire's saying to hurry up, but Ashley McIntosh never does anything in a hurry.
Gets it to Wooden. They swing at the outer side. They've worked it beautifully because Chambers is in space, gets an unkind bounce. These are just balance up here and they're still on. Jones gets it from Chambers and then looks up forward and sees Cousins for possession number 22 coming up. He's just having a spell on the half-forward flank at the moment and proving just as dangerous.
I know, he's actually been back and passes off very, very quickly to Chambers, who's been equally effective running down from wing half-forward. But Cousins just shows what a good player he is. You're right, Matthew's been down in that pocket half-forward for about the last 6 or 7 minutes. Robbins has gone with him.
So Callum Chambers now, who kicked the goal in the second quarter. And there you see how busy he's been since he's gone to the half-forward flank. Chambers for his second. Lays back on it, but it's very effective. Another goal to the West Coast. They've cracked the ton, the West Coast Eagles. They're 15-10. They're exactly double the Kangaroos at 7-8. It's a 50-point margin, Ross.
Yes, and Dean Cox is off for a breather, and Gasper goes into the ruck as the double change for the Kangaroos. Porter is off, with Spider Burton on for his first run in this quarter. They've got winners all over the ground at the moment, do West Coast, and he's been on the bench a bit, Callum Chambers, but still 13 possessions, and more importantly, 2 important goals.
Callum Chambers, his 8th goal for the season. He only kicked 6 in his previous 20 games for the West Coast Eagles. I like the boy. He's taken the time to develop. And there's some experience on the bench. Jakovic and Peter Matera. Burton back on the ground, opposed to Gasper. Makepeace through traffic. I'll be on McIntosh. Did well. Still did well. Equally well to slap it out to Colliker. Baird just took on Kerr. Saw him tuck the ball under the arm, but was ushered over the line.
And it really doesn't look like there's anyone in this Kangaroo side at the moment who's going to spark them. Someone that you think, let's push him forward or put him in the middle of the ground that's going to give us a lift. They've got some players working hard, but no one that's really going to set the game up for them.
Trail by 50 points. It's 100 to 50. Clayton to King. Jones, who's in a nest of Kangaroos, if there is such a thing. He took the easy relieving mark. Chambers. He's got players outside. He's got players inside. In fact, he's got players everywhere. He's going for a long option. Wapunda. Bounced off Wilson. Standing up. Kick inside 50. Pick it up. Lost it. Robbins has got a problem. 3 Eagles around him. Philip Matera gets it back. Chris Judd, 30 metres out. Bangs it home.
And once again, the numbers and the pressure in that forward 50, West Coast superb. No unknown to any of the Kangaroos players who looked like getting the footy. Could they get away? Pickett possibly should have taken the mark, although there is some sun down there, but no excuses. Robbins, pressure. Look at that 3-on-1. Matera also had players to give the ball off to. In the end, elected to do so. And Judd, who hasn't had to do a lot today, but has had it 10 times, kicks his first. And it's great for West Coast and the match committee. They can bring someone on off the ground like Chris Judd and take the pressure off that fellow.
Well, he becomes the 11th goal kicker for the West Coast Eagles. Kicked 5 goals in this quarter, still 7 minutes remaining. Burton got it over the top, but Jones clears for West Coast. Clever mark from Haynes. Wants to get on with it quickly. Little kick around the corner to the lead of Wilson. Good clean take. Swings around. Looks at the goals. And misses. As Shannon Grant goes off once again, as Daniel Motlop comes on.
About his 4th interchange, just an indication of how they rate his game so far. Trying to find some way of getting him into the game. Byron Pickett also having to be moved to the back pocket on Philip Matera because of the West Coast players' influence.
Pickett spotted Colbert directly up the centre of the ground to Shane Clayton, providing an option. Kick needed to be spot on. Makepeace does well. He breaks quickly. Wanted Lee Harding. Good take.
Shows a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's very impressive, I think.
Got a big spider on.
Gone for the big torpedo. Open forward line. Harvey's still there. He is dangerous inside the 450. Crowd saying it's out. And they were correct.
The boundary umpire, George Pampakos, went with the goal umpire, in fact. He was the first one to signal out of bounds. There he is here. Watch the arm go up the boundary. The goal umpire in the background. On the ball. Throw in. Danger zone. McIntosh almost threw that out. Kerr, hand pass, didn't connect with it. Wooden, got a problem. Jones, was he legged by Morrell? No, according to umpire Coates. Another throw in. Michael Braun slow to get up. And the best for the Eagles last week, started brilliantly today. Gasper, front spot, giving away a lot of height. When you're in front, pretty hard to get over the top.
So important too for West Coast in this situation, would you have this commanding lead, that you can continue with it, because the congestion in the middle of the table, the premiership table, is important to try and break away from that, whether it be by games won, then enhance it even further with the percentage.
Eagles unbeaten at home. Here's Motlop. Daniel did well. Tight situation. Bounced up. Snap around the corner. That is a very good effort. First goal in AFL football for Daniel Motlop. And an impressive one.
Yeah, just his 2nd touch, Tim, you're right. It was an important goal because they, in those stop play situations, you've got to try and take advantage of it. And he did that. And just got around a couple of West Coast players. We see Judd now interchange with Peter Matera. That's what the crowd is clapping for. But Daniel Motlop, along with his brother, you would hope they become long-term players for the Kangaroos. And that sort of play indicates that he has a fair bit of a future.
Just 20 years of age. Back in the middle. 3rd goal for the quarter for the Kangaroos. Can they get a couple more? Kerr. Such a clever player for such inexperience. He has plenty of experience. Straight onto the ground from 60 metres. How's the shin feeling now, Peter? Byron Pickett marks.
What was his answer?
I'm not sure. I'll get back to you on that, Ross. 107 plays 56. 51 points as Pickett just goes short. Stevens. The old 1-2. Oops, didn't come back. A little bit of moisture on the ground and free kick for holding on. So fortunate there, Byron Pickett.
Well, he's trying to create something, trying to stir the pot a bit, and realised he's going to be under pressure with a small fumble. Got the handball off, so...
The Kangaroos, can they string a couple of goals together to half forward? McIntosh front spot, well done, rock up. Hand pass, missed its target. Fletcher one way, Simpson the other. Is he taken high? No, according to umpire Avon. As Glenn Jakovic tries to come back onto the ground.
Braun and Harvey at the back of the, or inside 50. Right of screen, just having a few little words and push and shoves.
Burton taps it down, taken by King. Embley marks at half back for West Coast. Gives it to Braun, one of those protagonists. Kicks towards centre wing. Williams goes to ground, feigned for a free kick. Doesn't matter. Ball runs to the back of the pack, taken by Jones. Hand pass in, but look out! Gaspar got a problem. Archer's coming one way. Was he taken high? He was. Just a little friendly tap in there as well, Glenn Archer. He's absolutely spewing about that decision. Look at him. He wears his heart on his sleeve. Inside 50, Wilson goes to ground. That's about the 6th time today. Ball comes 45 metres out. Burton's had his hand on the ball like he was going to do a place kick. Pickett. McCartney. Well done, the West Coast Eagles forward line. They were determined to keep that ball inside, and Glenn Archer is still absolutely... Oh, he's unhappy. Left arm over the top.
Apparently that's high. I mean, with respect, Glenn, I mean, if you saw that on replay, you'd agree that it was high. Jakovic, the other Glenn, is back on. It's not high there, but the first tackle, part of the tackle, certainly was.
Robbins. Here is Archer. Still very unhappy.
Probably not the best advertisement for the game, is it?
Boundary throw in now. Here's Harding inside the forward 50 for the West Coast. Simpson works it back out. Morrell couldn't take it. Colliker can. Oh, Kerr. Is that a throw? No. Cousins. Lightning hands from Kerr. Wooden. Got it to Williams. Up and under. Wilson the target. Gets underneath it. Almost Colbert. Cochrane's got to get through a bit of traffic. Bangs it out wide, but the numbers favour the Eagles. Can Fletcher keep it in? He can't.
The game becoming very stagnant as Wirrapunda now comes for a breather.
Josh Wooden rolled his ankle behind play as well. On the far side, he's on centre wing. Got up very gingerly.
Eagles led by 13 points at quarter time, 38 at half time, and now the margin is 51 as David Wirrapunda has a spell. Meanwhile, back with the action, Daniel Kerr round the body towards Wilson. Ball comes to ground. What can Jones do? Pickett does well. Gets it over to Harvey. Yeah, ball doesn't come back here. It's a bit slippery. Harvey off the ground. Kerr. Simpson right on him. Haynes gets through. One tackle, two, loses it, holding the ball.
Correct call by umpire Nichols. It's been a messy 90 seconds inside that forward 50, and it's Troy Wilson. Yeah. Lucky not to have got a free kick.
Okay, your player coming back on him, I agree with you, Tim. Had no eyes on the footy, so could well have been a whistle there.
2.5 minutes remaining, third quarter. The Kangaroos are just hanging on by their fingernails to any possible chance. They would like a goal before three-quarter time. Can King spark them? Or can Archer? He's in a bad mood, Big Glenn, and he usually plays his best footy that way. He's got nothing up forward, but he kicks to open space. Harding and Matera. Harding, can he keep it in and come around? No, he tapped it straight into the behind post, and Peter Matera took the padding with it.
Wasn't such a good kick by Glenn Archer. Did all the hard work. Terrific run from him, but then the kick out to the right a bit, which didn't favour Harding. There we see.
And when those goalposts were wooden back in the 70s, I saw Jeff Clark, who was the chairman of ATSIC, run into it and snap that very post off at the base in a WAFL game between Perth and Subiaco. They've gone modern now. They're not made of wood, but they've got plenty of padding.
Well, some running repairs to the post with the padding coming off. Maybe you'll see that on the couch on Monday night.
Throw in. Burton. Gasper. Chakovic. A bit of a spell in this term. Colbert marks, wants to play on, looks afield. Harvey. King from 50. David King lets fly. It's drifting across the face. Misses. Could have done with that, the Roos. 8-9-57. West Coast to 16-11-107. Margin back to 50 points in the dying seconds of this third quarter.
David Werpunda getting some work. The bench has been used very cleverly today by John Worsfold, hasn't it, Ross?
Yeah, it's one of the things he's been able to do once they've controlled the game, but his rotations have been good, as his way of resting some of his midfielders through the forward pocket, half-forward flank. It's all worked their way.
Josh Wooden just taking his time, then spots a player, and that player happens to be wearing a Kangaroos jumper, and that is David King. The wrong option. He was trying to thread the needle there, and given that the player was standing in the sunlight anyway, the ball would have been hard to catch or to pick up through its flight. But King hasn't been good in front of goal this year. 4-7 coming into the game, and the one behind today. Badly needed goal here for the Kangaroos to get it back to 44 points before three-quarter time. No problems for David King, he's done it. His first. They're fourth for the quarter, so they've just steadied a little bit here, the Kangaroos. Margin was out to 57 points. It's back to 44.
Yes, and David King is one of those players that his teammates look to more often than not to try and give them some spark, whether it be off half-back flank or through the middle of the ground. He's always prepared to run, take a risk. Sometimes it comes off. This time it does, because he pushed forward and took the errant kick and finished off well.
Just another goal with 50 seconds remaining all of a sudden.
Yep.
Kangaroos feel like they've got a sniff. The Eagles will start to look over their shoulder a little. Casey Green, a rare run.
I agree with you, Tim, because there's no doubt for about a 15-minute period there in the middle of that quarter, you could almost sense that some of the North players hadn't flown the flag. They said, this is going to be tough to get back into this game, so let's just hold rather than trying to keep attacking and remain positive. It's always hard to do that, might I say, but that's the attitude you must have, otherwise you won't get back in the game.
30-odd seconds. Crooked bounce. Stevens ended up taking it out of the air and then threw it on his boot. Not the required distance. Peter Matera, as he relieved the zone. Oh, look out. Harvey's running to the umpire. Behind play, umpire Kieran Nichols, who we know Todd Curley had a run in with last year. The ball's on centre wing. And Brent Harvey threw his head back when he made contact with the umpire and almost put his hands on his head. There it is here. Look out.
What's he supposed to do?
Well, it's there. It's in the book as a rule, apparently. Chambers. Out of bounds on the full. Not that I think that was malice.
No, I agree with what you're saying. I mean, you're right. I mean, there was absolutely no intent whatsoever.
Because I'm not convinced there was any intent a couple of weeks ago either. Involving
Is
Philip
there ever
Matera.
any intent?
No, not in my book. Kieran Nichols, as I mentioned, he was the umpire, was involved in that incident, and I think Brett Harvey's already been done for running into an umpire in a pre-season game last year. And there is umpire Kieran Nichols. It's three-quarter time.
Well, in that quarter, the West Coast have kicked 5 goals. 5 goals, 3 in fact, and the Kangaroos have managed 4 goals, 3. At three-quarter time, it's a 46-point margin. In control, the Eagles, 107-63. Be of concern to Dennis Pagan is the fact that some of his midfielders, like Harvey, just really haven't been able to get into the game.
Yeah, well, Simpson's had it 24 times, Matthew. Stevens 14. He's worked hard, as we normally would expect, as we see McCartney and Wilson leaning on each other like a couple of hat racks.
It's a little bit of a dancing, isn't it? Okay, buddy, how are you?
It's like they're at primary school.
Back at the action at the centre, the start of the last quarter from Subiaco. Kangaroos need to get a couple of quick goals. And that's a terrific mark from the captain, so he's leading with some courage there. Harding's running hard for him, spots him. Has he got enough carry on the kick? Harding couldn't quite get it. Needed a crummer and Harvey, but it was Judd who switches play quickly. Cousins with courage, falls to Robbins. Robbins just bangs it onto the boot. Tough ball to mark, into the sunlight. Down at ground level, Motlop. He kicked the clever goal in the third quarter. Just couldn't quite manage it then. Daniel Motlop gets it behind. A little bit of chat from the umpires. Yep, it'll be all clear. It'll be one behind the first score of this final quarter to the Kangaroos. They now move to 9-10. West Coast 16-11.
He did all the right things. Daniel Motlop got to the front of that contest. Rovers forward pocket goal. Didn't finish it off. 32,815 in at Subiaco. Again on a very blustery, wintry day. And it has been raining for a couple of days, so not a bad crowd, Ross.
It's worked out very well. They'd be pleased with that.
Sun is now out. Might be some more rain in store. We need it. In the west, Cox did well. Burton just got a hand in to spoil the ball. Eventually the ball's gone over the line and out of play.
Just to illustrate West Coast dominance, close to 70 more possessions. Inside 50, 45 to 31. So they have been dominant across the field. It's a tough game for the Kangaroos, but well done to West Coast at the moment.
Cox grabbed it out of the air. It's around the corner and Baird. He's been the worst player out there for the Kangaroos. Long inside 50. Jakovic, Motlop over the top. Roving was Burton. Colica got it. Cox to Cousins. All the C's. Now to Wooden at half-back right.
Wooden to Wirrapunda. Poor kick. It'll be Colbert now for the Kangaroos. Centre wing. In front was Simpson. Cox didn't take it. Burton does. Wirrapunda. Well done by Kerr. Just saw the footy, grabbed it, and kept going. Back to Jakovic. Got a player in the middle, doesn't spot him. Kicks to the lead of Peter Matera. Good take. He's got his brother in the space. Over the top, there he is. Philip Matera. Pickett goes back. Great work. Wonderful defensive play by Byron Pickett.
Yeah, needed judgment and deft timing there. Had all that. It's a good kick too by Peter Matera. Almost got there. That's how you've got to do it. Otherwise, you give away a free kick if you make contact without having eyes on the footy.
Boundary throw-in. Gasper into the space. There's Cousins. Williams towards Wilson, and well done. So the dancing that they did at the start of the quarters worked positively for McCartney.
Crowd giving it to Jason McCartney. He's done a pretty good job, mind you, on Troy Wilson. Anthony Stevens, 11 kicks, 4 handballs, 7 marks. Simpson 24 possessions, Cousins 25, Kerr 22 and Fletcher 21 for the West Coast. Green to Braun on 50 and Wirrapunda will mark in the sunshine. 40 metres out, almost directly in front.
Yes, and he took off from Stuart Cochrane straight away there. And Cochrane, you have to give Wirrapunda a couple of metres and he's away. Very hard to catch, particularly if the ball comes in like that. And very cleverly done. Took the advantage of the forward can as Braun was a fellow in charge of the footy. There you see Cochrane in screen. No chance of catching him there.
Missed last week, was in Melbourne with his mother, feeling the best. Jetted back into Perth midweek. From just inside 50, he scraped it home.
Wirrapunda's first goal for the afternoon takes the score to 17-11 to 9-10 for the Kangaroos. And for a comprehensive wrap of this round, make sure you catch the winners on Sunday nights at 7:30 on Fox Footy Channel.
Yes, we just saw a good view there of Dean Cox's ruck work there from the throw-in. Did it very, very nicely. And Braun on the end of the couple of handballs. His pass spot on to Wirrapunda.
Rainbow still shining at Subiaco. 17-11 to 9-10. 49 points. Over the top was Cox towards Fletcher. With him Robbins, Harding. Robbins did well in the end, got it forward. Clayton didn't take possession, just helped it on its way. Handball from Motlop to Simpson. Simpson needs to get a bit of purchase on this and needs a kind bounce. Jakovic doesn't get one. Watt does and could not keep it in. Goal umpire signalling to his colleague, the boundary umpire, as what happened at the other end, that it was out of bounds.
Good teamwork by those two umpires. That's what you need, though.
Inform those boundary umpire, goal umpire combinations. Very good job.
Just see what it just was. His momentum just carries the ball over. He realises that he's run out of room. Boundary throw in now. Rocker did it well, then quickly got the kick. Here's Watt for another chance. He's going to give it off to Simpson. No, taps it forward. Taps it to the advantage of Makepeace. He's caught. Gets a boot to ball. Not enough. Jakovic saw Kerr. Long handball from Kerr because he saw Wooden dancing around now. Back to Kerr. To centre wing. Well, not quite getting enough on it. Harding couldn't take the mark. Cochrane, standing start. Forward. Kerr over the top. Perhaps should have punched there. Doesn't find himself in defence that often. And Green, who does, runs it over the boundary line as a percentage player.
Anthony Stevens on the bench for the first time in the game. He was just interchanged with Shannon Grant. There he's on screen.
McIntosh over the top of the ruck contest, taken by Wooden. Off a step, Porter. It was good early. Turned it over. Williams kicked a couple of goals early. Now Weir punters run down and marked. Cochrane gives chase, and a good chase it was too. Kicked by Wapunda. Wilson bounced off his leg. Cochrane got the ricochet. Archer, well done, the Kangaroos. They stand firm. Archer, the little 1-2. Looks up. Kicks to centre wing. Porter was the tallest man. Braun was the shortest. And guess what? Braun will come away with the footy. Looks up. Cousins just keeps racking up the possessions from 70 metres out. Kicks to the goal square. Philip Matera dropped back with the flight. Pickett tried to scare him. Goal! Into the final quarter. Here it is. So Philip Matera, that was off the knee. Now, does it have to be below the knee? I asked the question.
Yeah. Look, it's knee and below, so that's okay. His knee is everyone else's shin, so it counts. All right.
He's got his 4th goal.
Fourth goal to Philip Matera. Going along quite nice to the Eagles. Out of the centre. Kangaroos go forward once again. Here's Colica. Jakovic off the ground.
I was just thinking, Matthew, before about Byron Pickett going back then. If he had have turned like he did the previous effort against Philip Matera, he could well have even turned and taken the mark. I thought he was going to do that, but in the end, he almost conceded that, nope, I'm going to get there too late. But he had just, again, easy for us from up here. But perhaps if he sees that again, he'll say, well, perhaps I could have turned around then and got some hands on it.
119, playing 64, 8.5 minutes into this final quarter. Williams with Baird, another boundary throw-in. Porter do battle with Cox. Over the top, this slap comes towards Judd. He's wrapped up by Archer. Matera, wonderful skill on the burst. Cochrane got back. Ruapunda still there though, still dangerous. Still going. Gasper came in to lend a hand. Somehow the ball's still alive. King off the ground, wants none of it. Get it out of there. And he forces a boundary throw in once again.
There's some great skill there. Peter Matera's pick up David Ruapunda's ability to try and extricate himself out of traffic was fantastic. And then the pressure from the North defenders equally as good.
Colbert come over the top. Fletcher tapped on cleverly by Matera. And Daniel Kerr kicks it down one of the races into the crowd once more.
Yeah, pretty tough kick that. You're going away from goal towards the boundary and you're trying to bring it back across your body over your left shoulder.
A lot of players around this footy. Back with the fly, Gasper showed courage. And underneath that back, there is a football. And Ben Robbins. Now Cousins comes off the ground. Ben Cousins, 16 kicks, 10 handballs, 27 disposals, 4 marks. A couple of behinds to boot. Job's done. I suppose the message coming down was, Ben, Just take it easy. He's the franchise player. The Chambers dropped the mark. King went past it. Chambers lost it. Grant got it. Here's Harvey. Swung in the tackle. Fletcher got some treatment from Archer. All fair, mind you. Porter takes a very good mark. Now, Shannon Grant. His hands on his head behind play as well. He's not feeling the best. Porter. Cox crashes to the ground. Not feeling the best. Also, Rocker just to break it away. Brilliant tap on by Simpson to Clayton. He's got no one inside his forward 50. Simpson just says, well, I'm going to spiral it from 70 metres out. It's running. It's bouncing. It's bouncing. That is a great goal. Great thinking by Adam Simpson. He looked up and said, well, a spiral punt, and let's hope it runs the right way.
Yes, and if you get onto them like that, that's the way they often roll. They roll fairly straight once they hit the bottom pointed end. And we watch this here. It's a good tap on too, out of the congestions as Rocker picks it up. Cox is on the ground there. We see more of this. We probably won't. Pushing forward then very quickly. And Simpson, I should say. Tim's exactly right. Read it beautifully.
Terrific goal by Adam Simpson with his 27th possession. He is third in the AFL with disposals, and that is his average. 12.5 minutes remaining. 119 plays 70. Chambers on hands and knees. Robbins. Ball slews off the side of his boot. King under some pressure again. Harvey happy enough.
It was clever thinking by Adam Simpson, wasn't it? I mean,
oh, no question. And then to execute the kick like he did, first class. I mean, over the course of the 4 quarters, Tim, I mean, he's been easily their best player.
He's worked very hard, hasn't he? Right throughout the game. Spread his disposals throughout all 4 quarters as Braun. Colbert the punch. Chambers been very lively. Well, the kick favours Wirrapunda. Just went up the side of the boot. Wirrapunda ran into the space, and he's within range. Already has a goal in this final quarter.
Yes, that's the 3rd time he's been able to get away from Stuart Cochrane. Just too evasive, or elusive, I should say. Just getting back inside 50 very dangerously.
Right behind David Wirrapunda. Leans back on it. It's coming back for him, though. It's coming back beautifully. His second. His second, the Eagles 19th, and the margin back to 55 points.
Yes, and was Callum Chambers, as Matthew said, who just popped that ball up. He was trying to get some depth and length in that kick there, but in fact it just came off the edge of the boot. But Wirrapunda, ever with his eyes on the ball, took the easy mark in the end and finished off. So I think we're going to see a change. Yeah, Daniel Motlop is coming down to pick up Wirrapunda now.
Back out to a 55-point lead to the West Coast Eagles. Their greatest winning margin was 1987. In their first season, 74 points over the Kangaroos. Oscar Glendinning, you might have even been playing in that game. Gee, it was a long time ago.
Can't play for 2 clubs at the same time. I'm only kidding.
Who were you playing with in 87?
The local side here.
West Coast. Knocked forward by Motlop to Morrell to Simpson. He eyes the goals from 90 metres. Decides on the shorter option this time. Jakovic had a problem. Good tackle by Watt. Archer straight at the footy. Motlop. Daniel. Smart thinking. Faced the goal. Kicks about 25 out. McIntosh. Umpire said play on it was touched. McIntosh. Quick thinking to Braun to Gasper. Hit hard coming the other way. Digby Morrell.
Yes, he's just come back on the ground to replace Stuart Cochrane, who's had some troubles with Wirrapunda.
Still plenty of time in this contest. 1 for the West Coast Eagles to blow the margin out, or 2, the Kangaroos to play. Yep, to reduce it. Now, that's an interesting kick across goal. Now, Wooden is outnumbered 2-1, but he has speed on his side. And some assistance now through McIntosh. Off a step. Judd has to stand and wait and takes the mark.
Chris Judd out of side with his shoulder strap that we're getting very used to seeing. Very exciting young player that a lot of people have been speaking about. Already been nominated for the Rising Star. Gasper slowing things down, which has been unusual. It's been a fairly fast-flowing game. Both sides have tried to play on as much as possible. Free kick for a push in the back. Going back to, well, it's going to Ben Robbins. May have been Lee Colbert, but Ben Robbins will be the recipient.
Sav Rocker now been taken from the ground, so actually McIntosh will come off with him. He just feigns to run into Shannon Motlop too, who's replaced Rocker. Motlop wasn't sure what he's trying to do there, so Embley on for McIntosh.
Motlop might be in here though, if he runs to the goal square. Unfortunately, the mark wasn't able to be taken by Simpson. He realised that there's a free kick that's going to Digby Morrell. Just outside his forward 50. Long kick. Gets plenty on it. It's going to drop right in the goal square. And just, oh, it's a goal. Well, I thought that might have been touched, but it's gone through for a goal.
Tell you what, Digby's the most surprised of the lot.
I think so. In fact, I was waiting for the kick out as we see Cousins back on and Kerr for a breather, but...
I went for the rush behind.
Did you? Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see this. There's Morrell kick.
60 metres.
Exactly. It floated. It certainly set up once it got towards the goal line. Oh, well, the umpire's obviously in the best position.
A wonderful spot to see it. And there wasn't a lot of reaction. All the players there just turned to the umpire and said, what is it? Yeah. Is it a goal? So not too much conjecture there from the West Coast defenders. Morrell has a goal and the Kangaroos have their 11th.
Ben Cousions back on the ground. What would be the reasoning for that, do you reckon, Ross?
Well, I mean,
still 8.5 minutes to go, so he's still rotating his midfielders.
And look, some would also argue, Tim and Matthew, that, you know, if you're talking about, in some respects, some of the awards, I mean, just to finish off the game, that may not even come into calculations at all, but you would think, possibly, that if he's OK and he needs a breather, you've got the game in control, perhaps give him that rest. Not our decision. No,
he's back on the ground, and who would argue with John Worsfold and the match committee the way the team's playing at the moment? So flashed last week, but at home, really making life difficult for some very good teams. .75 out now. Nichols goes through a routine. Ben Cousions. Just quality. Now Wapunda comes off. Chad Fletcher comes back on. So, yeah, you might be right there, Matty. That rotation. It's almost a throw from Simpson. But Morrell, who kicked the goal, woke him up and a few others around him just moments ago. Here's Shannon Watt. Hand pass to Makepeace. Wants left side. Finds it from 49. Troy Makepeace. Let's fly. Goal umpire right in the right spot. With the sunglasses on, looking into the sun. On a score.
And look, there's no doubt clubs have their rotations with their midfield players all done by the clock and then sometimes modified, obviously, by the state of the game.
This is Peter Matera in his back pocket. Took a knock to the shin, spent some time on the bench, but is now moving quite freely and has been a very damaging player, a very dangerous player for the West Coast Eagles. McIntosh has been outstanding. Just over 7 minutes remaining. The ball is with Green. Colica.
He doesn't play too many bad games.
No, he's a no-nonsense footballer, isn't he?
Hasn't missed a game since coming from Hawthorn. 29 in a row.
Kicks to a pack. Over the top came Haynes. At ground level was Porter. He's caught by one arm, but somehow gets a kick away. Not the required distance. Falls to Carroll. In the end, it was a very clever handball in front of Haynes. He thought about giving it and then played on. Matera, and perhaps in hindsight, Ross should have given it.
Yeah, well, even the bit of vision to his right where he had Andrew Embley running very clear about 15 metres in front of him. So a couple of options there.
125 plays 77. Boundary throw in. Out of the air, Gasper wanted it. Fletcher did as well. Fletcher kicks a goal. His second. It's been a very good player, Ross.
Yes, he's basically just come back on the ground briefly, having had a spell on the bench, and maybe this is the game that sets him in motion to continue this standard, because what he doesn't want to have is the gap between his best and least best performance as wide as it has been. He needs to just shorten that gap and get the consistency up. So this is the standard setter that he should be looking to play at most weeks.
Some class on the bench for the West Coast Eagles. I'd be pretty happy with this result. Speaking of class, Judd.
Great change of pace, isn't he?
Brilliant. Punched forward by Archer to Cousins. Pickett under pressure, almost threw that out. Phil Matera should concentrate on the ball. Haynes kicked it up and under, could bring rain. There's plenty in the area. No mark. Embley snapped over his shoulder. There's players down behind. Plate. There's another up and under. Gee, they're testing him out. Pickett goes through and hacks it off the ground. Now, Philip Matera thought he should have got a free kick for holding the ball, but the ball was still in his area, Ross, and maybe he should concentrate on trying to win it.
Yeah, he was looking for a kicking in danger, which may or may not have been there, but you're right, if the ball's still alive, you've just got to keep concentrating on that particularly. As Cox and McIntosh have an animated discussion, saying they must have been kicking in danger.
Yeah, they agree with Phil.
Kick to Colbert. It was a good one.
I'm not sure Ashley McIntosh gets too animated with that, does he?
No. Lee Colbert decides to go laterally. Clayton has a running player in King. Long kick towards Watt. Here's Morrell stepping around. Needs some support. Makepeace. No one inside the 450. The players have to run onto it. Motlop's one of them. Went to ground and somehow gets it back. Quick give missed his brother. So it was Daniel to Shannon. And it was a bit messy in the end, but it'll be a good learning experience for him there. If he kept his feet, he may have been in the contest a lot longer.
Yes, and in fact, he could well have marked the ball in the first instance, Matthew, because he got hands on it. He was just a bit unsure of himself.
Kick in comes towards Gasper.
That conversation's a good one. It's just going on and on and on.
Well, Jones falls back to Chambers. Clever work by Jones because he helped it on its way. Chambers gets the shepherd he wants from Green. He runs to 50 metres. He's got Philip Matera short, but he goes to the goal square and going back and tugging them up. It's Fletcher.
Well, there was not so much sandwich between the two, but he had Shannon Grant in front of him, Byron Pickett behind, and takes what ends up being a pretty simple mark. We watch this again. Grant goes to the front of him. Fletcher goes back. Pickett, thinking that perhaps Grant was going to come back into him. Nothing happened.
Just kicked a goal. He's now kicked 3 in this second half. And he's had 25 possessions.
Yes, well, he certainly finished off very, very well. When you have that that number, as Matthew said, plus the 3 goals, it's a good finish. And be able to rest up forward like that with Jones. Who else has gone in the middle of the ground now? Cousins back on. And someone else has to step into the square for West Coast. It will be Braun. They had that luxury being able to rotate those players forward and off the bench, and it's worked very well for them today.
The biggest lead in the game to the West Coast, 10 goals. And they are starting to creep up to that record-winning margin, 74 points back in 1987. So a couple of big defeats for the Kangaroos in a couple of weeks. Carroll hasn't had to do much today, but he'll enjoy the run. His first game for the year. Colica, runner-up to Ben Cousions, the club champion last year, and Jakovic, who was 1-4 club champions for the West Coast. Well done, the Kangaroos.
A bit cute.
Here's Judd, though. He picks it up, puts the foot on the gas. He's been chased by Harvey. Wilson, the problem. Free kick, go to McCartney. And that'll be 50 metres against Wilson for dropping the ball.
It's been a good job by McCartney, hasn't it? There's been a lot of goals kicked. They've kicked 21 goals, West Coast. Wilson's managed one.
Yeah, you've read my mind. It is a great effort, not so much from Wilson's point of view in terms of he would like to have made a greater contribution. However, to share that across, Matthew, it's a very good sign.
It's getting dark again too at Subiaco Oval. Just dropped the ball, Troy, and gave away a 50-metre penalty. Inside 50 for the Kangaroos. Daniel Motlop showing a few little pieces of brilliance. Simpson. Good pressure from Jones and Adam Simpson. He can hold his head up today. He's at 29, make that 30 possessions. Kicked a wonderful goal in a Pagan's paddock situation. Kicked it from about 70 and has rolled and rolled and rolled. And he doesn't attract votes. In the Brownlow medal, I made the point before the game, Matt, when we were having a coffee. He's received just 9 votes in 137 games of football. Yet he would go down as one of their very best players. Here's Harvey, Brent, up and under kick. Stand underneath that and show some courage. And Carroll does, takes the home.
Yes, Adam Simpson doesn't have that absolute turn of speed or you know, the absolute brilliance about him. He's a very fine player, and that's why perhaps he doesn't stand out as much. He's an absolute workhorse. He's a distributor of the footy.
Well, wouldn't distribute it to the wing and misses his target. But they've still got plenty of numbers. Embley to 53 metres, gets plenty on it. Andrew Embley hits the post. (21-13) the West Coast, 139 the Kangaroos, 11-12, 78. They're still chatting away on the bench, are they? No?
Yeah, no, Coxie was talking, but now he has to go back on.
So they've had to stop. They'll continue it in the rooms afterwards. Shannon Grant. Pickett. Up the middle. It's a terrible kick. Falls onto the chest of Ben Cousions. He goes wide. Simpson, great effort.
Sensational effort that is.
Fantastic work by Simpson. He just hasn't had enough mates today. Make peace. Watt right with him. Carroll. Shannon Motlop caught. Numbers for West Coast. Win out. Carroll want to be quick. Backs himself. Runs a fair distance. Drop punt is poor. Simpson once again. It's a leather magnet at the moment. And quickly playing on. Baird. Robbins. Well weighted, but Archer under pressure. Quick hands Cochrane. Porter off one step. Back towards Green. Favours him. Casey Green. Guess who? Cousins. Cox. Under McIntosh's instructions. Handballs. To the run of Green. Back to Cox. They're mugging around with it. Possessions are going through the roof. They're going nowhere. Cousins finally. Robbins going back and taking the mark for the Kangaroos. A little bit messy from the West Coast here.
Troy Wilson made 7 leads. He's now ambling back as Daniel Motlop comes off the ground and Savroka comes on, and Archer has the ball on the far side of the ground. Possession 18, taking half a dozen marks. Cochrane. Carroll is nudged underneath it. Shannon Watt concedes defeat. So we're ticking down, coming up to the final minute of play. The West Coast Eagles, this is a big win, a percentage booster for them. Peter Matera. Kick, not the best in his career. Cut off by Rocker. Morrell has got a problem. $17 free kicks apiece today.
Well, there's the torpedo.
There's another one from Big Digby from 95 metres. Off Watt's hands. He goes back in and trickles through a goal.
And we might get a completion of this game before this next set of rain comes through, which the players will be happy about. But good persistence there by Watt, and also Digby Morrell. Not only there, Trent Carroll just a bit untidy in trying to keep his eye on the footy, but the kick coming in from Digby Morrell was a beauty. The torp. And Shannon Watt just grubbers it across the ground. Just made it, Tim.
Yeah, lucky he has size 13s, because size 12s wouldn't have made it.
That's exactly right.
Margin now back to 55 points. Shannon Watt's first goal for the afternoon. Ben Cousions with 30 possessions. On the other side of the coin, Adam Simpson, 32. Final minute of the game at Subiaco. Getting very dark. Rain approaching. Chambers caught. Had it forever.
Dizzy.
I don't know what he's complaining about.
He went around twice.
He had 2 tickets for that ride. And it's going to be Shannon Motlop. The torpedo seems to be working for them. That's just a magnificent drop punt. What a fantastic goal. So a couple of belated goals for the Kangaroos, but that is just an awesome kick late in the game.
It's just an illustration that it should show his teammates that you can't afford to let the game go so quickly. I mean, there's been periods of the game where they've surged and been able to look as if they might get back into the game, but it doesn't take too many possessions. And if you get them at this situation and confident in your ability to kick goals, go back and ping them. But all too much too late, really. Consistency of West Coast performance has been the most impressive thing today. Across the quarters, across the lines, most departments they've either been in front of, certainly squared it away, and that'll show up in their summary later.
Middle of the ground. Dying stages. 49 points to margin. Eagles. Final score 21-13, 139. Kangaroos 13-12-90. Ben Cousions, a great day at the office, 30 possessions, 26 to Kerr, 25 to Fletcher, and 21 to Peter Matera. The Kangaroos 33 to Simpson, and 20 to David King.
We'll take a break here from Subiaco. The victorious West Coast Eagles by 49 points in a very, very convincing victory over the Kangaroos.